Good morning. This is Dylan Jovine from Behind the Markets. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, July 28th. And today I want to talk about copper. Copper, one of the most important metals on Earth. And copper is really in an interesting place right now. Very exciting things that are going on. You remember back in the early 2000s when they were talking about peak oil? Demand was so big that everyone thought that oil was going to hit $200 a barrel. And then they invented fracking, oil fracking, and that just revolutionized oil production, really brought prices down and made a fortune for the companies that actually invented the fracking technology. We're in a very similar situation right now with copper. Let me explain. You might have read about in the press that President Trump is announcing 50% tariffs on copper imports, and these tariffs take effect Friday, August 1st, this coming Friday. Now, this is not his normal tariff stuff, okay? This is not about adjusting a trade deficit with a country. This is about national security and then some. So what most folks don't really understand or don't know is that copper is essential for everything, really, but it's essential for civilization. It's a civilization-driving kind of metal. But it's really essential for military systems, and this is what the president's really referring to with his tariffs. It's essential for radars, missiles, semiconductors, chips, you name it. So it's essential also for regular civilian infrastructure, data centers, power grids, EVs, you name it. Everything in the world that's electronic uses copper, and many that aren't even electronic. So it's like energy, it's foundational. And right now, as we all know, we're in an AI race, and the president's been really pushing executive orders to build here, to really win this AI race. It's a big deal. And copper, of course, is foundational to AI. It's like energy. It powers AI, data centers, chips, robotics, networking infrastructure, you name it. In other words, copper is in everything that makes AI possible, physically possible. Copper is in everything that makes AI physically possible. You don't have an AI revolution without copper. So what the president's trying to do is to make sure we boost domestic copper production here in the United States, because we just don't have enough copper. We have to import fully a third of the copper plus that we consume, and we're not going to win the AI race unless we have a lot more copper. So we were planning to release a documentary on the copper issue next month, because we're really in a terrific position as investors, because copper faces this massive problem. You have AI demand really pulling so much. Demand from AI is really pushing up copper, really the demand for it, but you have a supply problem, okay? You have tight supplies, not enough mining, broken inventory. So you have a situation, almost a perfect situation, where you have too much demand, not enough supply, which is really starting to explode the price and create great opportunities. But that reminds me, it's gotten so bad that they're calling it a copper famine that really starts this year, where basically we're going to enter the first prolonged copper deficit in decades, basically since post-World War II. So this is very serious stuff. And you remember back in the early 2000s, as I was talking about, they were talking about peak oil. There's not enough oil around there in the world, so oil's going to go to $200-$300 a barrel, and then we invented fracking technology. Again, similar kind of situation. There's not enough copper out there, so we created a whole new documentary for you on a company that really created kind of a fracking technology for copper. It's really an unbelievable story. It's really a technology advancement. And you remember back in the 2000s, the companies that created oil fracking technologies, they just made a fortune. So we have really put together this documentary, really highlighting the real insane demand that AI is causing, the real issues with supply, and how this one company really is solving a big part of the supply puzzle. It's a big deal here with their copper fracking technology. We were going to release that in August, but we've been pushed to release it sooner because the president announced tariffs that go into effect on Friday. So we're releasing the documentary right now, about a month before we wanted to, and we scrambled to get everybody to finish the editing, to get it all, to make sure I look nice and good and all this other stuff, to get it out today so you can see it, because it is expected with, not only is this technology that we highlight in this documentary absolutely revolutionary and game-changing, but it's expected with the president's new tariffs, that is going to boost some of the companies that we recommend in this new special report. That's going to boost their profit by $1 billion for one company, $700 million for another company. So we wanted to make sure we rushed to get this documentary out to you today, right now. You can check it out today before these tariffs take effect on Friday, because these stocks are starting to move in anticipation of these Trump tariffs. And these are really super big opportunities, even before the president's tariffs. Copper fracking, can you imagine it? Can you imagine how many billions and billions of dollars that kind of technology is going to be worth? It's incredible. And we're really focused on the company that invented it. But now add tariffs to the mix, and these companies are going to see net income explode. So we're very excited about how big the opportunity is there. This is about as good of a setup as you can have in investing. You have a situation where you have massive demand, constrained supply, and then all of a sudden a company that invents basically a copper fracking technology. It's really just outrageous. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this new documentary from us, because we enjoyed filming it. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed filming it for you. Have a wonderful day.